Hello everybody. Hello friends. Welcome to the live stream. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello chat, I can see you. People arguing about whether Tumblr is good. Tumblr is good. Tumblr is the only social media site that I actually enjoy using. Do I get the fewest death threats on Tumblr? I think I do. It's not zero, but it is, I think, the fewest. But yeah, Tumblr rules. Hello to all the Tumblr people, especially. Chat says poggers. Poggers. Heck yes. Poggers indeed. Especially in this setup, you know. The poggers are poggering big time. Hello. Tumblr never went away, says Martin. That's right, Tumblr never died. It never will. It never will. Thank you for compliments on my Katie Tight Pussy t-shirt. Official Katie Tight Pussy merch. Get it from katietightpussy.com. She did not pay me to say this. Probably should have accepted a sponsorship deal. Katie Tight Pussy, get in touch with Nebula if you want to sponsor me. That would be very funny. Hello! Oh man, it's good to be back. It's nice to be back on the live stream. It's been a hot minute. I normally like to do these like post-mortem streams closer to the video because we're going to be talking about the previous video that I made and how we made it and like what the feedback to it was. But normally I make them closer to the time, but I've been away doing a thing that I can't talk about all that much. I've been filming something, but I'm back for a little bit and then I go away again. So I thought, hey, I'd get it in. Thank you. Somebody says great looking hair, almond gooks. Yeah, I think like I really want to get a haircut. I can't until after I finish the thing I've been doing. But then I think I'm gonna change up my style a little bit. We'll see. Maybe I'll go blonde. Who knows? Watch this space. Anyway, we normally like to start off the live streams by lighting a candle. Other little house rules. If you super chat me, I'm gonna do my best to shout it out. I might miss it, so probably like keep the message brief, and that gives me a maximum chance of seeing it. And also we like the chat to be a nice chill place. Yeah. Oh, it's not an undercut. I just slicked it back on one side and pinned it. Don't worry. It looks like an undercut, but it's not. But meantime, I'm gonna light the big candle that my manager gave me for Christmas, and we're gonna pretend that it's not already like 30 degrees in here. So here we go. Very thoroughly to make sure it doesn't set fire to my home. I say my home, my landlord's home. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh man. Okie dokie. Well, hello. Oh, Kate the Great says, your channel helped me to pass successfully my exams. Well, I'm glad that my channel helped you pass successfully. Not always the goal, but nice. Also, cheers to my big protein shake. This is dinner. This is gym girl dinner. This is a banana, protein, and creatine. That's good. I love it. That's dinner. Immediately ruining my lip gloss by drinking a protein shake, but that's gender. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. How are you all doing? How are you all doing in chat? I'm going to turn off the preview window, disable performance mode. How are you all doing? We chilling? We having a good time? We enjoying this fabulous August? Those of us that live in Britain, are we enjoying living in Britain? Is that a good time to be queer and living in Britain? I'm going to take your silence for a no. It usually is. Well, we're going to do our best to have some fun and have a nice time. And then, yeah, I tell you what, we're going to talk about the previous episode of Philosophy Tube. We're going to talk a little bit about how I made it and how the crew, how we made it. A little bit about what the comments and the feedback were. We're going to look ahead to the next 1, 2, 3 episodes, because there's a new episode coming out at the end of August, which is going to be a big one on Thomas Jefferson. Oh yes, that's right. The one that you've just seen, the problem with the video essays, is but the amuse-bouche to the enormous Jefferson project, which occupied the first half of my year. But I'm already deep in the research mines on the next couple of episodes of Philosophy Tube, which I'll tell you all about a little bit later. Hello from Alaska, says Nick Migliori in chat. Oh, heck yeah. Nice. Nice. Linny Beep says, Abby, I read Manhunt. It's bonkers. Hey, I tell you what, I'm going to tell you what I've been reading in a little bit, and there's some more Gretchen down there in my reading pile, so I'll show you that in a bit. Love the fishnet armbands, says Mol. Thanks. It's actually a top. It goes underneath this one and goes all the way. I don't know. Can you see that? Can you? Me. Goes all the way down here. I just wore, you know, two tops at the same time. Damn, 2 tops at the same time. Crazy. I've been to parties like that. Hey, Miranda from PR, who says, impressed you've got Riker for the next Philosophy Tube. Yes. Jonathan Frakes will be appearing as a voice on the next episode of Philosophy Tube as the voice of Thomas Jefferson. But we'll talk all about that in the postmortem for that episode. Don't be jumping the gun. Hey, you're from Romania, says Seifuma. Oh my gosh, I love Romania. I miss it. I stayed in Brajov for a few months when we were filming Django back in 2020. Fantastic town. Loved it. A lot of really nice Italian food. Despite Wisdom says, do you have a PO box to accept fan mail / books? No, I don't. I used to years ago, but I had to shut it down because a stalker used it to find out where I was living, and then I had to move. So sorry, I don't do that anymore. I should look into that again, maybe, if I can find a way to do that better. But yeah. You look like you're going straight to the lesbian club after the stream. I wish, you know. Got my birth certificate ready so I can get in. I'm kidding, that's a little British humor for you. Oh, Jennifer Houghton says, saw The Prince in Nottingham. The cast and production was brilliant. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad it went well. I was so gutted I couldn't be there. So if you're not familiar, I wrote a play a couple of years ago called The Prince. It was recently licensed. There was a production that happened in Nottingham. I really wanted to go, but I was filming Monday to Saturday, 6 days a week on the thing I can't talk about. And then I was exhausted. I think the show was on like a Wednesday to a Saturday, so I couldn't go. I was completely booked. I tried to have some flowers sent to the theatre, and Royal Mail spent like 5 days trying to deliver them at 9 in the morning. It's like, it's a theatre. It's closed. You gotta wait. Like, stop trying to do that. And then I assume those flowers either didn't arrive or just rotted. So, well, that was really annoying. But I'm really glad that the play went well, and like, it got great reviews too, which is amazing. I really wish I could have seen it. I'm gutted that I couldn't be there, but gotta work. Okie dokie. Well, why don't we talk about the previous episode of the show? So, the previous episode, I know this music is a bit of a downer, but I also can't change the track, so we're just gonna have to like all be a little bit mellow until the happy music comes on. The previous episode of the show was cool. Hello. Yes, it was called The Problem with Video Essays. Here's me in a cowboy hat, the same one I wore in Romania, talking about it. Oh, that's a great freeze frame now. Oh, that's YouTube. That's beautiful. Hey, Jen Tidwell is going to be directing The Prince in Tacoma, Washington next September. Heck yes. Amazing, Jen. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Well, hey, feel free to, if you have like questions about localization or adaptation or anything like that, which a lot of companies who are licensing it do, then feel free to get in touch with my manager, who can put you in touch with me. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy and so excited that The Prince is going out to audiences. That's really cool. I'm really happy with that. That's really nice. Yay. Oh, that's happy. Okie dokie. So, the previous episode of the show was called The Problem with Video Essays. It was partly about it was partly this sort of amuse-bouche to a bigger video on Thomas Jefferson, and it was partly about geography and the gridding in the United States, but it was also about some thoughts I've been having about the limitations with video essays as a format and how that's kind of like constraining but also a little bit exciting. So long-time viewers of these Postmortem live streams will know that I have 3 criteria for judging a video, and if it meets these criteria, then I'm happy with it. The first one is, was it made from curiosity, not ambition? And not to give myself too much credit, but I do think that this time I can give myself a big old pat on the back about that, because when I found out that Amir Alexander was wrong, in the kind of mirror universe, evil Abby would have just been like, well, I'll just make the video anyway. Right? Who gives a shit? Probably that video, who cares, right? But I was like, no, curiosity and ambition. I'm going to go hunting for the truth. I'm going to find the right answer. I'm not going to do the thing which necessarily like gets the most clicks or fits the best kind of format. But I'm going to do the thing that I'm like, the curiosity demands. So I followed the truth. I was curious. I found something interesting. I admitted vulnerability rather than like projecting strength. These are all things that belong in the domain of curiosity, not ambition. So first criteria, curiosity, not ambition. Check. We love it. Second criteria, is it made out of compassion for myself and others? So that's things like, did I work myself too hard in making it? Did we work the crew too hard in making it? Was I mean to anyone in the video? And in particular, something I was wary of was that, yes, I'm criticizing Amir Alexander's book, and I don't ever want to single someone out on philosophy to make them feel bad. So I tried to be as compassionate and constructive with my criticisms as I could. Maybe in hindsight I could have been a little gentler, actually. But then I tried to make it clear that I do still think the book is worth reading, if you're interested. So, was it made out of compassion for the crew? I certainly think so and hope so. We had one day on set filming this episode. And it was a pretty easy shoot, pretty good times all round. I think everyone had fun and had a few laughs, and it was, good fun. Was it made out of compassion for myself? Perhaps slightly not. The research for the Jefferson 2-parter, I think it took up a lot of time. I worked myself really, really hard on the research for this. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but I think maybe I pushed it a little bit. I'm trying to be more wary this year about things like burnout, because you may know that last year I worked too hard, I got sick. And so especially this year, given how demanding my schedule on the thing we're filming is, I could have been a little gentler to myself in the research phase, but okay, things to improve on next time then. The final criteria is it my unique creative vision? Yeah, I think it is. I've enjoyed this Wall of Chaos format. I think that's a good discovery. I don't think I'm going to do that every time. The next video, as I've already said, isn't going to be that. And then probably the ones after that aren't going to be that either. But, good discovery. Maybe I'll come back to the Wall of Chaos sometimes if I feel that it fits the vibe. So, yeah. Nice. Excuse me. Protein shake went down the wrong way. March G in chat asks, do you enjoy research in itself? Apart from the hyperfocus, do you find the process of it enjoyable? Yeah, I do actually. I like to kind of chase down a lead, chase down something that's fun and interesting and follow my curiosity. Maybe that's a good opportunity to talk about, to segue into talking about the research. For this episode and the one that comes after the big Thomas Jefferson episode, the research project on this one was huge. I mean, let me pull up my Jefferson research doc here, and after it finishes loading, I'll tell you how many words are in that doc. But so my research for this episode started with Amir Alexander's book. I saw it advertised in the London Review of Books, which is sometimes where I get ideas for like what I want to read next. And I thought it sounded cool, thought it sounded interesting, a little bit like unusual compared to what I normally read. And so I checked it out, I enjoyed it. From there, I ended up doing like a massive deep dive on Jefferson, which ended up like splitting off and becoming this whole other video, to which this is but the sort of the first course. that was all about like Thomas Jefferson and the American Indians and like his relationship to them and like settler colonialism and genocide and all that stuff, which is obviously like bringing in some of the research that I've been doing that I mentioned like back in 2022, like research that I did on settler colonialism in relation to like Gaza, so like bringing some elements of that in as well. And so I basically ended up doing like a massive deep dive off the back of this, and this sort of became part one. So, okay, here we go. I've loaded up my Jefferson. Oh no, that's the wrong doc. I want my, no, it's not called that, is it? It's called the grid working doc. Let me load that up. And I'll do a word count on it, because I think it's something like 40,000 words. So yeah, that was the bare bones of my research process. Here we go, it's loading up now. Here we go. Word count on my research doc is 45,624. So that's how many notes I did. That's the total count for my notes, which is a lot. So yeah, that was good. Oh, also one more fun thing. At the very end, I cite an essay by Ismatu Gwendolyn. I actually discovered that on the morning of filming. I was having my breakfast before I went to set, and I found that essay and I was like, oh, this is the final like cherry on top that the video essay really needs. And so I was writing in the car on the way into the set in the taxi. I was like, here's the paragraph that I want to add about Ismatu Gwendolyn. So yeah. Queen Stodge asks, how far did you get into scripting for this episode before that paper caused you to go in a completely different direction? I think I was either on. I think it was first draft. I had a first draft, and then I changed direction, because the first draft also felt a little thin, and I was like, I want to keep going with the research. Something's not right here. Something's not. I sensed it. The philosophy senses were tingling. I was like, ah. So yeah, that's how that happened. I'm gonna adjust the lighting here. It's a little gloomy. That's nice. That's warm. Nice. Woo. Linny Beep says, is that your written research? Yeah, that's the written research. Yeah, that's just the notes that I've taken. So yeah. That's good. We love protein shakes. I'm on this thing now where I'm trying to eat like a bigger lunch than I normally would, and then just have a protein shake for dinner. Because I've been eating like pretty well lately. They take good care of me on set for the thing, so I'm trying to, be a little more disciplined. Just trying to fiddle with the lighting, just optimizing. So yeah, that was cool. I found that essay by Ismatu Gwendolyn like just by pure luck, to be honest, which was kind of nice. Serendipity. We often get serendipity when we're making Philosophy Tube. In terms of the aesthetic, so we had two looks. We had this one, and then we had this one. Let me give you a better look at it. This one. I deliberately paired the aesthetic. I turned the big fancy dial way down for this episode. And that's partly because, like, I wanted to... Well, so obviously, like, let me explain the outfit. So first of all, it's like kind of American Western girl, and then this one you're looking at now has the grid on it. That microphone isn't plugged into anything, by the way. I'm just doing a YouTubers holding microphones but make it fashion gag. The ribbon mic isn't actually plugged in. I'm just doing that for fun. So I deliberately turned the fancy dial way down, and I had this discussion with Brian, the Philosophy Tube stylist. I'm partly like, I'm just curious about how much the kind of fancy outfits is the draw for Philosophy Tube. I'm just sort of like experimenting like with everything, like with the format, with the Wall of Chaos. I just want to see what makes a difference and what doesn't, and it's a balance to walk, because I want my patrons' money to be on the screen. Like, I want, if you support me on Patreon, I want you to be able to see that I'm like You know, I'm not buying Swarovski and like shit with your money. You know, all the Patreon money goes into a separate bank account, which is for the show. That gives the show its budget, and I want to put the money on the screen. And, you know, it goes towards not just the outfits, but also things like, you know, foreign language subtitles and all the rest of it. So, which is one of the biggest expenses, actually. And so I want to put the money on the screen, but at the same time, like, I had this conversation with Brian. Given the times that we're living through, I wonder if now is a good time to be, like, to be flash, whether it's a good time to be fancy. Or whether now is a time to have a bit more like an authentic aesthetic, you know? Is now the time to be eating foie gras and gold leaf publicly? Or like whatever the outfit equivalent of that is? Is now the time to be doing luxury high fashion stuff? I don't know if it is. You know, I look at people like Vivian Wilson, for instance, who's very much the kind of like it girl at the moment. She's got very much a kind of like of the people aesthetic and of the people brand. And I'm like, that's smart. That's smart given where we are right now, you know? So I'm just experimenting with it, like the episodes I'm going to be doing later in the year. So on the Thomas Jefferson episode, I dialed the styling thing all the way down. And in fact, I did the styling on that episode with just my own clothes and gave the entire styling budget to Jonathan Frakes so that he would appear in the show. And then on the ones after that, I'm really letting Brian off the leash. You know, later in the year, I'm hoping we're going to get some like real spectacular Brian Conway outfits on the show, because I'm going to turn the fancy doll right the way back up again and just like see what difference it makes, you know? So, you know, we'll see. But that's why the aesthetic is the way that it is. By the way, I had a question for you all. So in the credits of this episode, I put these little behind the scenes photos that I just took on the set on the day, and also that our camera operator from Manbros, Mr. X, that they took. I put those in there like to just sort of remind you that Philosophy Tube is made by people, which sort of fit the theme of the video. I've done it on the next one too. I don't know, I just thought it was nice to show that it's like on a set, it's made by human beings. What did you all think of that? Because I did it on the Thomas Jefferson one too. And if you like it, I'll keep doing it, and I'll take more photos on set on the day with my phone, you know. But yeah, just let me know. Oh, I'm getting text as well. Whilst you're letting me know about that. I'm streaming. I should have brought a spoon. Sorry, it's a bit undignified. Should me lick up my dinner like a cat. Weird. So chat says 90s vibes with the behind the scenes pics. Really? Is that a 90s thing? I guess so. Oh, we should bring it back. Amy Fist says it's like an old sitcom. Alright. Linny Beep likes it. Adds a nice visual pop to the credits. Okay. Cool to be reminded that it's not just you and a tripod, says Will Scorer. Yeah, okay, fun. Alright, yeah. Yeah, it's fun. Like, it says the crew don't generally want to appear on camera. They don't want to be like front and center. You know, I do ask them sometimes if they'd like to, and they say no, which I respect. But like, I can definitely get more BTS stuff, like, you know, our setup. Yeah. Cool. Valerie the Lovely Italian says, I assume you wouldn't want that aesthetic. What, of a 90s sitcom? I don't know. Why not? A little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of like fun, you know, family vibes. Why not? Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll keep doing it then. I liked it too, you know. It's nice to do something with those photos that we take. They go up on Patreon as little like teasers for patrons. But also it's nice to just, you know, it's just nice to have them. So now, let's briefly talk about the numbers. How do we do on numbers wise? Did we get numbers? Did we get clicks? Oh, my manager's texting me. Didn't know you were friends with. Oh yeah. I'm on stream right now. Lol. Shout out to my manager. What was I saying? I've completely forgotten. What was I saying? I have no clue. Someone says you're a 90s girl, right? No, I was born in the year 2000. What? 9/11? I don't remember it. No, that's not true. That's a lie. And hey, you know what? That's ageism. I shouldn't do that. Yes, I am. I was born in the 1990s. 1993, to be exact. So there we go. Numbers! Thank you for reminding me, chat. Thank you. The numbers. People just yelling the word numbers at me. Numbers. This video did really well on the numbers. In fact, of the previous 10 videos that I've uploaded, it is #1. We got 250,000 views opening weekend. We had 500,000 by, I think, like Monday or Tuesday, after it always comes out on a Friday, right? And then it's like 900,000 now. What, like knocking on the door of 920,000. So like, hey, pretty pleased with that. Hey, good thumbnail, good title combo though. And I know this one broke through because I had normies who were friends of friends mentioning the title to me, and I was just like, okay, that's how I know you've got a good title. The problem with X, especially if X is a thing that people like, if you're watching a video essay channel, you probably like video essays. Good title. I will give myself some fucking credit for that. Good title, Ali, well done. Heck yeah. People really want to see a video essay about video essays, says Amy Fist. Yeah, they do. They do. Heck yeah. So yeah, good numbers. Really, really pleased with that one. People just yelling numbers at me now. Also, speaking of numbers, Transphobia watch. Dun 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 dun. Transphobia watch. How much transphobia was there in the comments of this video? Answer: 1. One transphobia. One transphobus. There was one transphobic comment underneath this video. I got rid of it this morning, and that was it. Which is remarkable. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Must be a statistical fluke, but pretty fucking good. Pretty pleased with that. Things are improving. Things are looking up. I mean, hey, less reason now to come yell at random trans people on the internet because, yeah, you know, probably all the people who would be leaving me transphobic comments are very busy working in Parliament. But, you know, nicer working environment for me in one very limited sense. There's a fly in my room. Yes. Just one is manageable, says Jackpot. Well, it's one too many, but I've had worse. There's definitely been worse videos. Yeah. It's not longer cool to be transphobic. It's never been cool. Let's be real. It's never been cool. But that won't stop them anyway, because they don't care about being cool. You banned all the bad commentators already, says Armin Gooks? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I just got them all. Just got all of them. Like, you've all been muted now. Only cool people left. Only cool people left alive. Heck yeah. So yeah, good result there. Why don't we hang out and talk to chat for 5 minutes, and then I'll move on to comments. So, how y'all doing? How you all doing? Tell me what's up with you. Did you have any like feedback or thoughts on the video? What's up? I'm gonna drink some water from my Nebula water bottle. Always on brand, baby. Knowlton Brown says you talk about cultivating an audience. I think that shows you cultivated a really good one. Yeah, actually, we'll get to the comments in a moment. But the quality of the discussion in the comments this time was really good. There was some cracking ones. Yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Man, it's warm in here. This room gets a lot of light because the sun in the afternoon comes in that way, so it's just like, it gets really warm in here. Jessica Mumford says times are scary in the UK. So I appreciate how level-headed you come across about the current nonsense. Yeah, I try not to panic, you know. I have my moments of despair and anxiety, but never let them see you bleed. Never complain, never explain, darling. We shall see. Chelsea Jupiter says, I love that your last live stream called out Lily Alexander's video as the best video essay you'd ever seen, and then this video was about video essays. Yeah. I mean, I will still say that Lily's video on Vanishing is the best video essay I've ever seen. I think it's fantastic. You should all go check that out. You can watch that and then you're done with video essays. I think that's the final one. I think we're all just making footnotes to that now. The history of video essays in the West is a series of footnotes to Lily Alexander. You have fans, says March G. I do. I've got a couple of fans, big tower fans in the next room that could keep me cool, but I don't want the noise to interfere with the live stream. June in chat says, just found your Judith Butler video and appreciate the recommendation for Seattle Voice Lab. They are the best. Claire is the best. Highly recommend. Claire is the best voice coach in the world. And a very nice person. Big fan. Woo! What else we got? Oh, I need to see Lily's new video on emojis. Yeah, I should check that out. Vocal level mic needs to be slightly higher versus the music. We've just gone into a quieter music track, so already taken care of, baby. Already taken care of. Read your mind. So shall we look at some comments? Shall we? Who's texting me? My manager's texting me again. He likes my shirt. Thanks, kid. Oh, Phoebe J. Rose says, can confirm Seattle Voice Lab were excellent for me too. Can confirm. Heck yeah. Nice. I'm glad. Opera Guy says, I know this is really off topic. I've been wondering recently if I'm trans. How did you know you didn't just want to how did you know you didn't just want to be feminine and actually wanted to be a woman? Well, hey, I tell you what, if you become a woman, you get 2 for 1. You know? You get both. I don't know, without getting too intimate about it, or revealing too much of my origin story, which, you know, I'm saving for the sequel. Abigail, what did that mean? I don't know, Abigail. Without revealing too much of my own personal origin story, I kind of knew. It was pretty obvious, you know. Tried the other thing, and I was like, nah. But yeah, I became a woman, and then I get to be feminine too. 2 for 1. Buy one, get one free. Buy one gender, get one presentation included. You don't have to use it, I guess. You can be a woman and be masculine. But anyway, you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. Jackpot says it's crazy how many video essays I've consumed but never thought to challenge the medium. There you go. I challenged the rare and the well done. Just that's terrible. I'm sorry. That sucked. Anyway, what was I saying? Hey, welcome to Burke in chat. Welcome to your first ever live stream. Good to have you here. They're normally a bit more together, but I'm tired. I'm still adjusting my my sleep schedule. When I was doing the thing I can't tell you about, I was up at like 4 a.m. every day, like 5 or 6 days a week. And then I finished on that last week, and then I went away somewhere and spent some time with someone who goes to bed very late and gets up very late, which is total opposite of me. I go to bed early and I get up early, so the sleep schedule was a bit like, I was in bed at like 10 o'clock, like, should we get up? I was like, no. I'm like, oh, fine. So yeah. Anyway. Wow. Should we look at some comments? Shall we? Let's. let's do it. Phoebe J. Rose says there's a call-in show on another channel which I've been on which can help. Don't want to advertise it without permission. Yeah, go ahead. I don't remember what you're talking about, but go ahead. Permission granted. What was I doing? Oh yeah, comments. Here we go. Let's look at some comments. Things you never say on the internet. Wah, wah, wah. Here we go. So Curly Private 22 made this really, really interesting point. It's a little bit bleak. Bleak way to start. But they suggest that maybe part of the reason that people are less interested in learning, if we accept that hypothesis, which maybe we do, maybe we don't, is people are starting to realize that it doesn't really make much difference whether or not you're right. Yeah, you know, as a trans person living in the UK, I can tell you, being right is very satisfying, but you know, it's nothing compared to the power of simply making shit up, apparently. I was having this discussion with Morgana Ignis this morning, my good friend Morgana. It was made the point that, like, a lot of the people we're up against don't really care about being wrong. They care about power, which is, you know, it's one of the fundamental limits of Philosophy Tube as a project that we identified last year, right? Which is like, what do we do about people who don't want to learn, who don't care about education, who just want power, who just want to, like, win, whether that's win politically through violence or whether that's win the debate, the kind of the petty fascism of the like debating chamber or whatever. Not to say all debate is fascist, but you know what I'm getting at. You know, whether that fascism is big scale or just sort of petty. Some people don't care about being right or about learning, and that's always, you know, that's always been a sort of limit for me. As an artist, it's like I do care about research and writing and thinking. That's why I put so much time into it. And then it upsets me when some people are just like, I don't give a shit about any of that. But yeah. Clippy the Technician says, I really like your work. Your acting's top notch as well. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. You'd be a perfect Doctor Who as well. I've been saying this. I've been saying this. I said it in an interview a while ago. They asked me, what's your dream role? And I was like, I got some ideas. My manager's on the case. If it can be done, he can do it. But I won't hold my breath. You know, that's. If I'm here, that's like, you know. But I think it'd be fun. And like a lot of British actors, I have an idea in my head of how I'd want to approach it, which I won't talk about, so don't ask. Yeah, that would be fun. I think that'd be fun. I've talked to Verada a bit about her time on the show. And it sounds like it's like challenging, but good, like a good kind of challenge, you know? So I'd be curious, but we shall see. Bacalao Light says, small thank you for all your Mexican fans. Keep the awesome work. Oh my gosh, thank you. I went to Mexico when I was a kid and I really liked it. I really, you know, obviously didn't get a full impression of it being both a child and a tourist, but that's just the first thing I said to try and say something nice back. I guess it's just like, oh, I like your country, what I've seen of it. Let me turn the microphone up a little bit for you there, A-Ra in chat. Let me just, oh, the mic's at max, so let me, oh, no, it isn't. I can, there we go. That should be a little bit. I'll try to talk louder also. I shall try to enunciate. Projection. Theater, darling. Oh my god, what is happening with the lighting? Oh my god, I look like a hot mess. Whatever, we'll flip it into a dark purple and then just pretend that I don't look like some sort of theater-dwelling Berlin hag from the Weimar era. What the heck are we talking about? No, maybe fiddle with the lights a bit more. God, I need a softbox. I do. Oh my god. And a new camera, and a new phone, and a new laptop. My partner's been pestering me because she's a big techie and she's got all the latest gadgets. She's like, how do you fucking live with this like ancient technology? And I'm like, leave me alone. I like my rubbish gadgets. I don't trust it, man. I don't trust the new thing. Jessica Mumford says, I watched Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend and ended up shipping Faye and Belladonna pretty hard. Imagine that was you and Morgana's intention. I'm going to record myself saying that and then send it to Morgana. Hey, Morgana, I'm on a live stream and I just wanted to draw your attention to this degenerate pervert in chat. Jessica Mumford, who says, watched Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend and ended up shipping Faye and Belladonna pretty hard. Imagine that was you and Morgana's intention, LMAO. Horrific. Horrific. You see the people I have to deal with. Awful. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm going to send that to her and she's going to understand that it's a joke. There you go. I'm sending that to Morgana right now. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, Jessica. I'm only teasing you, don't worry. Okay. What were we talking about? Comments. That's what we were talking about. Okay. Oh yeah, we have this one from Sasha Bordeaux 358, who says, one second, let me ka-ching, who says that, like, yeah, there's problems with video essays, but at the same time, a little bit of edutainment is surely better than no education at all. It's about, like, achieving a balance, a diversity of educational tactics, maybe, which is nice, you know. Yeah, that's a good point. I would hope that, you know, I think that educational video essays have their place, obviously, because I make them, but hopefully as a supplement to reading rather than as a substitute for deeper engagement. That would be the hope, anyway. But yeah, good point. Spaced Kitty says, YouTube unsubscribed me from your channel. I've been subscribed for 7 or 8 years. Welcome back. Welcome back. Subscribing again. Don't worry about it. Subscribing a second time. It's all good. You found your way back. William Crick says, I'm loving Morgana and Amy's Dead End Dream House on Nebula. Oh, she hasn't seen the message. I think she's in a meeting. But yeah, she's good. Talented actor is Morgana. Very talented actor is our Morgana. Dan Da Dan on Netflix. It's an anime. Or is it pronounced anime? Check her out. I hear she's good. Good voice actor. What? Oh yeah, we got another cool comment from Giuliana Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno, no. Wait, no, this is the wrong one. What? Giuliana Bruna. Bruna or Bruno? I imagine that makes an important difference. Bruna. We don't talk about Bruna, no. All of that is just to say that after all that documentaries have many of the same problems as video essays. Fair point. I guess sometimes documentaries and video essays overlap, don't they? You can have the same thing. Some of Dan Olsen's stuff, I'd say, is definitely like documentary level. Danielle, YouTube won't show me the rest of your screen name, but Danielle Will, thank you for your super chat, says, I often end up buying the books you talk about, so your video essays are gateways to books. Oh, thank you. I guess I'm glad to be a gateway to books. March G says it's pronounced anime. Ah, thank you. Thank you very much. Burke says, are you making enough? Sorry. Burke says, are you making enough money from acting to retire from YouTube, and is that in the cards for you? No, I am not making I am not making enough money from acting to retire from YouTube, and I don't want to retire from YouTube anyway. So no, don't worry. In fact, can I say this on the stream? I can. Yeah, I can say this. This year, now that I'm filming this big thing I'm filming at the moment, is the first year I have ever made more money through acting than I have paid in rent. That's not to say that I'm like, you know, like living off acting, even with this thing. No, I'm not. But this is the first year that at least my rent has been covered by acting. Just the rent, not utilities or food, just rent. I'm like, okay, hopefully we build up from here, but then probably not, because that's not how the way acting industry works. So no is the answer to that. Big no in big Hollywood style letters. No. Can't spell Hollywood without no. You can actually, but you know what I mean. Burke says, does Disney pay nothing? No, Disney paid the standard rate for an actor when I did Star Wars. I did Star Wars and House of the Dragon in the same year. Both of them paid like the standard rate, and I'll say that like Disney and HBO took good care of me. But the standard rate for actors, unless you are a megastar, just the standard rate for actors is not very high. You know, if you're The Rock, you get paid millions. But most actors have a second job. 95% of actors have a second job. Even at like big levels, like names you would know, people have another job because just the standard pay for actors is not a lot of money. There's a lot of actors, you know, a lot of people want to do it. So unless you're a star, you don't get paid a lot of money. You don't want to get into acting for the money. Oh, and my manager's also texting me right now. Says, and actors work less time these days overall. Yeah, very true. Very true. There's not a lot of work. So, yeah, he's gonna be weighing in. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's the answer to that. Actors, you don't get paid a lot of money. You don't want to get into acting to make money, because you won't, unless you're really at the top level. There's also like a weird thing, which is that like people, do you get money from your likeness being used on merchandise? I think in some circumstances you can. I don't think I do. I think that's like included in my contract. I don't think so. My manager may text me if I've gotten that wrong. Don't worry, I won't say anything. And also, I can't reveal anything that's under NDA. So what was I saying? I've completely forgotten. Never mind. Do you get paid when people license the prints? Yes, I do. Not very much, but I do. It's like a you know, it's very like a token amount of money. I think it depends on like how long the run is gonna be and like stuff like that. But yeah, you can license my play and I get a small amount of money from that, which is nice. But yeah, that's why you know, have the different income streams, a little bit from YouTube, a little bit from acting, a little bit from podcasting, and just kind of like getting by. I'm doing okay. So yeah. What are we? No thoughts, brain scrambled egg. Yeah, too warm, I think. Too warm. So let's look at some more comments. We had one from Strawberry Queen 0382, who said, oh, my manager says the prince is being licensed a lot around North America. Yeah, Canada and North America this year and next year. Oh, also, we had the director of the one in Washington was in chat earlier on. So that's really nice. Anyway, Strawberry Queen 0382 says, this is unrelated, but Thomas Jefferson is never beating the autism allegations with every new facet I learn about him. Yeah, actually, in the first draft of the video, I had a joke about that. But I cut it because it wasn't very funny. But yeah, I also had this thought. Oh my gosh, Lega Domain asks a great question in chat. Says, it seems like a lot of the big video essay channels from a few years ago have either stopped or curtailed their output. As a video essayist, are there any forces in 2025 that there weren't in 2019? That's a really great question. I'm probably going to think of something better later on, but just riffing off the top of my head right now. In 2019, there was kind of 2017, 18, 19, there was this kind of like this craze for video essays, like the BreadTube era. Which the narrative was that leftist video essays were sort of deprogramming young radical alt-right men. Like this was the answer to the alt-right, was like consume video essays. And I was always pretty skeptical of whether or not that was true. Some people say that it helped them, and that's great, obviously. But as a systemic response, it was obviously limited because like you can't consume YouTube videos your way out of a political situation, right? The alt-right, like all political movements, was born out of economic structures which video essays were powerless to change, although we could point the way to it, right? And so people made a big deal about like breadtube creators and like the big three breadtube creators, of which I was one, and that it was presented very much in media and in like media interviews and fan discourse as if it was like an organized attempt. But in my opinion, like I said in the most recent video that I made, it was never really a sort of organized structure. It was basically just like a bunch of people who hung out with Lindsay at the Cheesecake Factory one time, and like some of us saw each other occasionally after that, and like, you know, had friendships and associations and stuff, but then, you know, COVID happened, and then like a bunch of other stuff happened, and so like now it's sort of like distant colleagues at best, really. Like I still see Lindsay very occasionally when I'm in the US, and I still text her every now and again. I'll text H-Bomb like maybe once a year to invite him to my birthday party, and he'll be like, I can't, I'm on like Wales or California or Mars or wherever it is that he goes. But yeah, you know, that's what it was. So like, it should have been called Cheesecake Tube. Yeah, I think that's something else. And then also like back then, so these days things like React content and like debate streamers, and also people who their main thing is live streaming, but then they clip bits from the live streams and put that as a YouTube video rather than make a video essay. That is a much bigger thing today. So like Twitch, for instance, I'm not sure, like, when was Twitch founded? Twitch founded when? Twitch was founded in 2011? Really? Wow. Really? Really? When did Amazon buy? Amazon bought Twitch in 2014. Huh. It feels like Twitch got big post kind of quote unquote breadtube. But maybe that's not true. Maybe it was kind of on its way up. But anyway, it seems today that like that kind of content, reaction content, live content, some of which is you know, I'd say good and high quality, and some of which is perhaps less so. It seems like that is the thing. Like if you're like a hot new leftist creator now, it seems like video essays are like yesterday's format. Like if you're a hot new leftist on the internet now, you're making fucking Twitch streams, right? You know, you're trying to be Hassan. You're not trying to be like me or H-Bomb. You're trying to be Hassan. Which fair enough. You know, times change, different format, different kind of game. But there you go. So I'd say like the rise of that kind of content is one factor. I'd also say that the post-COVID creator economy is very different. So over the pandemic, like Patreon in general, and mine to a very limited extent, but like Patreon, the website, absolutely blew up. Like so many more people became creators over the pandemic. So many more people signed up to support creators. The demand for content just went boom over lockdowns. And then lockdown ended and the demand started tapering off again. And some companies, including Patreon, who'd taken some VC money and taken some deals over the course of the pandemic thinking this content boom was going to last forever, found that actually it wasn't. And so the creator economy slowed down relative to what it had been. In the same way that traditional entertainment economy kind of did the same thing, right? So there's that. There's the post-COVID effect, which we're all kind of still dealing with. And I think some creators probably found it tough to get through that filter because they're like, oh yeah, 2020, I'm doing great. I'm doing so good. 2021, I'm not doing so good anymore. 2022, oh man, I feel like I'm back to where I was 3 years ago. And if your self-worth is tied up in your work, maybe that sucks. Maybe you don't want to go back to it, so you quit and you drop out. Or you think, oh man, there's nothing I can do. I don't adapt, right? You know, keep going. Whereas I saw the writing on the wall in 2022. I was like, oh, okay, this kind of boom we had over the last 2 years isn't going to last forever. I'm kind of doing something different now anyway because I just came out. So like I knew that the name of the game was to just keep it fresh, to keep it reinventing, you know. And also I also made peace many, many years ago with the fact that a YouTube career looks like that, right? It just does. That's fine. That's part of it, you know? The post-BreadTube surge of non-gaming content was a result of YouTube decreasing monetization, says RunGMC. Huh, interesting. Back then, it was almost exclusively video games. Huh, very cool. Very, very cool. March G says what we're doing right now is what Twitch is. Yes, but we're not doing it on Twitch. We're doing it on YouTube. But yes, this is a live stream and chat. Yeah. There you go. Were they really that short-sighted, or did they think the pandemic would be long enduring? Says one person in chat. Hard to say, but remember also that if you're the head of a company, your structural incentives are to maximize the amount of money you're making right now, and if you don't, they'll replace you with someone else who will. So there's always the kind of... there's the bait above you which you're jumping at, but also the floor is heated, right? You're incentivized to jump at the thing. So, what else? Hey, Double Grinch, thanks for coming in from Tumblr. What else? Are there any factors that weren't around in 2019? I mean, I can think of a couple factors that weren't around in 2019. But I'm not sure that really affected the YouTube creator economy all that much. Maybe it did. Who knows? Maybe also part of it is just like, you know, it became very clear that quote-unquote BreadTube was not in fact going to stop the alt-right. And people stopped talking about that so much. Which I didn't think it ever was. You know, we made some good video essays, but we were never going to save the world. Well, how could we? I never really believed it at the time. I kind of had other things on my mind at the time. But, yeah, you know. Will Scorer says the level of inflation is kind of staggering. Thanks. It's a push-up bra, but thank you. Yeah. I think that's just about everything. What a really, really great question that was. Thank you for that. That sparked a really interesting discussion. Heck yeah. TikTok, says Armin Gurks. Yes, you're right. The rise of short-form video content. Of course, that's another thing that's changed since 2019. Good point. Well remembered. Well remembered. Very well remembered indeed. So, shall we look at some more comments? Yes, we shall. Yes, we shall indeed. Oh my god, what is with this lighting? I've got to get my partner in here and just be like, baby, make the lighting pretty. I gotta get her in here sometime and just be like, can you make the lighting pretty? I don't know what I'm doing. I never have. I refuse to learn. I prefer to be wrong in ways that are fun. Comments. Focus, Abigail. Engage brain. Where's my little... Oh, I don't need Tor browser open. I was just using that to legally read some books. This comment from Tom Scar says, very good Riker foreshadowing. Yes! Thank you. So that is a reference to... Let me find it. To this moment that I will show you right now. This thing where I sit down on the chair like that, like Freaky style. That is a reference to Star Trek The Next Generation. It's called the Riker Maneuver. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. But I did that very deliberately because Riker was played by Jonathan Frakes, who is going to be on the next episode of Philosophy Tube. So that's why I did it like that. There you go. Oh, also on the subject of video essays since 2019, Annabelle says there was also the rise of the super long video essays like in 2022. Yeah, I never really wanted to do that. There's people who made like 2 or 3 hour videos and I'm like, I can't be dealing with that. I mean, I could push it to 90 minutes. I think the NHS one was 1 hour and 20 because it needed to be. But like, I don't want to make like a 2 or 3 hour video. Like, come on. You got things to do. I respect your time, you know? I don't know, maybe I've just never had anything I needed to talk about for 2 hours. Maybe I'm just not that interesting. But not my style. Not my style. Oh yeah, here's a really good series of comments. I told you that the comments were really good on this episode. So Sandre Zen said that video essays have their limits, but like, so do books, you know? Books take longer to absorb. A book can be misleading or emotional or parasocial or have all the same problems as a video essay. But like, because a book takes several hours to work through, maybe it's like sunk cost fallacy, you know? We think that books are more valuable because they take more time, but actually maybe not, you know? And they use the example of Jordan Peterson's books, which I've talked about pretty in depth before, and which, like, you know, sorry, I don't think are hugely worth the effort it takes to read them. This is my opinion. And then Bionetic came back and replied and said, well, you know, reading is a more active process than just passively watching a video essay. Maybe that's good. Maybe you're like, you know, you can't really background read the way you can background watch a video. So maybe reading books is better for, like, you know, stimulating and absorbing information and so on. And then Sandra Zen came back again and said, I'm not so sure about that. You can absolutely just like skim read. You can not really pay attention. You can not really look at the words on the page, and like perfectly possible to do that. So like, yeah, there was this really interesting micro discussion of the merits of books versus video essays going on in the comments. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. Chat, what did you think? What do we think about this? I'm gonna take a little drink while you make up your mind. Friend_EXE says, I'm dyslexic, so I like videos. Fair enough. Fair enough. If reading's tough for you, yeah. Somebody says I can't raid. It's spelled wrong. That's a good gag. Well done. It's very funny. An old gag, but a good one. I often zone out and read without taking in the words for a page or two, says Burke. Yeah, okay. The reading equivalent to a video essay is a blog post, not a book, says Dragonflies. Maybe you've not been watching the right video essays. Let me just suck myself off. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, fair, I guess. You know, for sometimes it probably depends on the video essayist, I guess. Like some of them are really in depth and really good. Oh, Jack Taylor says, as an audiobook reader, it can be either. Yeah, fair point. I hadn't considered audiobooks. They're not really my thing. I like having the tactile page. I like being able to highlight and make notes. Apologies to librarians. But yeah. Interesting. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. Immaculate Aura says, Double Grinch. Thank you. I've been farming it. Now it is ready to harvest. Malkav says, live chat is pretty pointless, though. I don't know, it makes me feel less alone. Otherwise, I'd just be here saying all this shit to myself, and that'd be weird. Here's a cool comment from Casimir, who says, the fact that AI has lowered our standards to the point where, well, at least it was written by a person, is a point of praise, is so sad. I can't even. Yeah, that is pretty sad. I read a really good article this morning, which was sent to me by my wonderful manager, and it was about how AI is basically just like a mechanical psychic. It basically just does the same things as psychic does when they do a cold reading. It tricks you into thinking that it's intelligent or that it has special insight. But actually, mechanically, the operations are completely the same as like a bogus psychic. Well, as a psychic. Let me find that article for you right now, live on stream. Let's go. AI mechanical psychic. Top result. Talk to a live psychic now. Thanks, Google. Nope. I want to talk about live psychic. I want to talk about dead psychic. Okay. It's called the LL Mentalist Effect. How chat-based large language models replicate the mechanisms of a psychic's con. Nice, snappy title. Love it. It's by Balder Bjarnason. Baldur's Gate. Here we go. I'll post a link to it in chat. Really good essay. Open it in a new tab, read it later. It's very long, but it's very, very good. By Baldur too. Heck yeah. We love to see it. Yes. What did we say? Oh yeah. And then we had one more comment from Asher Gibson 9969. Nice. Who says video essays might lose something in translation from books, but they said they learned a lot from my work and been inspired to further study by it. Which is really nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's cool to be like a gateway to learning for people. Thank you for leaving that comment, Asher Gibson 9969. Heck yeah. So, I've been talking for a bit. Why don't we let me know your thoughts in chat while I take a little drink and catch my breath. Num 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 num. Protein shake. We love it. Yes. Baldur's Gate, that game with the really good voice actresses. Heck yeah. Nice. What's the XP thing on top of the live chat? That's new. I have no idea. No clue. Some books aren't available to everyone, says Armin Gooks. Yes, that's very true. Yar har fiddle-dee-dee. You're very correct there. Yeah, the fabulous kitten in chat says, like, diversity of educational tactics. We don't need to pit mediums against each other. You know, you simply want a video essay and read a book. You know, I guess it helps to have a spread, right? Excuse me, sleepy kitty. Oh, hey, do you want to talk about what I've been reading lately? Wouldn't that be fun? We'll talk about what I've been reading lately, and then we'll talk about what's coming up on the next. Coming up next time on Philosophy Tube. What have I been reading lately? Well, in fact, no. Let's do it the other way around, because you'll see why in a second. So the next episode of Philosophy Tube is going to be about Thomas Jefferson. It's already out on Nebula. I need to do a slight edit on it, which I'll probably do at some point next week. So the Nebula heads will get a new version, and then it'll go out to patrons, and then end of August it'll come out on YouTube for general audiences. Big deep dive, it's almost an hour long, about Thomas Jefferson and basically his whole career from start to finish, his attitudes towards American Indians, and settler colonialism and genocide, and like that whole vibe. So, you know, obviously some relevance to current events, but also just like a fun, historical, philosophical, very serious, very stripped back, very pared down, very much like Philosophy Tube Season 2. Not in front of a bookshelf, but in front of an entire room full of books this time. So, you know, we're going back, but we're bringing it forward too, you know. What else? Oh, yeah. So, after that, the videos that I'm currently researching, I'm planning... At the moment, I think it's probably going to be a two-parter on birth rates and aging populations and having kids, the ethics of having kids, like antinatalism versus natalism, and also like my own thoughts about having a kid. That's the kind of personal angle to it. I think there's probably going to be a reappearance from a certain Philosophy Tube character who we haven't seen in a while. But you know, we'll get to that when we get to it. I think I haven't written it yet, but I can see that happening. So yes, that'll be fun. So big two-parter about birth rates, aging populations, and so lately, I have been reading a lot about aging populations and ageism. So I recently reread Ashton Applewhite's. Let me make sure I can see what's going on. Ashton Applewhite's "This Chair Rocks: A Manifesto Against Ageism." I actually met Ashton years and years and years ago in another life, and she recommended her book to me, and it is really good. It's when did it come out? It came out in like 2011, I think, and it does sometimes it shows its age. It shows its age, ironically. But it is good, and it is like an important challenge. So I've been reading a little bit about that and about ageism. And I've also been reading Phil Mullen's book, The Imaginary Time Bomb, which is about the economics of aging populations. I just finished this today. Eye-opener. Banger. I read this and I was like, this is the tube, baby. This is the philosophy tube secret sauce. Because everyone's just, I'm like, I'm not going to spoil it, but like, this is the bit where I'm like, this is the stuff you're not going to get on any other video essay channel. Because I'm just like, ka-ching, here it is, baby. So, very excited to talk about this one on the show. Really got a lot out of it. The Imaginary Time Bomb, why an aging population is not a social problem. Interesting. Goes against the dominant narrative. Challenging you. Make you think. We love it. So yes. That's fun. That's what I've been reading in terms of non-fiction. Have you watched the Tom Nicholas video about it, says Armin Gux? Yes, I have. And will probably be citing it. Maybe. Haven't started writing it. Still in the research phase. Coming to the end of the research phase. Little bit more of a hill to get over. A couple of big chunky reports to read and a few articles. But yeah. Also thinking it might do my... If you've seen the movie Castration Movie, don't worry if you haven't seen it. But if you're in that, if you're like that kind of trans person, might do a review of that as part of this project too. We'll see. At the moment, I'm thinking it's going to be a big two-parter. So yeah. And then in terms of fiction, I've been reading Gretchen Falcon Martin's new novel Black Flame, which I really enjoyed. Gretchen wrote Manhunt, and also Cuckoo was the name of her other novel. So I've recommended Manhunt before because I really like that book. And so Black Flame is her new one. It's, I think, just come out a couple of days ago. It's about basically problematic queer people and problematic media in particular, and how that's kind of valuable. I think I could say valuable, or at least like the urge to distance yourself from problematic queer stuff and queer people and queer media is maybe not the healthiest impulse. I really like Gretchen's stuff because a lot of Gretchen's work starts off with a really gonzo premise. Like Manhunt, the premise is like everyone with a certain amount of testosterone in their system becomes a feral zombie. That's the cool premise. And like the premise of Black Flame, like spoilers, is that like there's a haunted movie. There's like a haunted roll of film. The film is haunted, and like you play it and it fucks with you, right? And so like don't watch the haunted movie. So that's the kind of gonzo premise, but then Gretchen's stuff, it gets cleverer and cleverer as you go through, and you realize, this is what it's really about. So yeah, recommend it. In terms of how like squeaky it is, not as sort of gross out as Manhunt. There's some like real graphic stuff in Manhunt, real graphic. There's a little bit in this, but like. I mean, relative for Gretchen heads, this is probably pretty mild, especially compared to this and Cuckoo. Yeah, some people's flesh melts off. But it's actually like in terms of the sort of visceral horror, a little bit tamer. It's very successfully like creepy though. There's some parts of it that's like ooh creepy, even though you kind of going in that like ooh the movie's haunted, right? It does kind of still manage to keep it suspenseful and creepy in places. So. It's cool. I like it. Manhunt is intense, says Linny Beep. Yeah, you're right. Manhunt is very intense, whereas Black Flame is more like more like chilling, I read this in my trailer for the thing that I did. Just to pass the time, so yeah. The leftist cook's antinatalism video was about the writings of David Benatar. Pretty awful guy. Oh, okay, maybe I should... Thank you for letting me know about that. I'll add that to my research doc, because I didn't know about the video on David Benatar. I will check that out. Give me one sec to make a note here. I need to watch Tom's documentary too. Sources, video, leftist cooks, anti-natalism. You know, I don't believe in video essayist dibs, but it's, you know, don't want to go repeating yourself, do you? I tend not to watch other YouTube videos, but, you know. We do. What else? What else? Do we have anything else? Oh, we had one more thing. One more thing that I wanted to touch on, which is a little bit of fan art. We had some lovely, lovely fan art from Joodle Doodle on Tumblr. How nice is this? How good is that? I love the line work on that. And look, you've even got the... Oops, where am I? Wrong window. Look at this. Look at how nice that is. Look at that. Look at even the shading on the shoulder. How pretty is that? And look, the kind of... The shadows too, the cross-hatching. Look at that. How good is that? Look at the shadows on the arm as well. I like the little motion lines too. This is so well done. It's like a comic book. You even got the details that, like, it's great. It's like I'm in DC Comics. I love it. Marvel's Avengers, DC Comics, Batman's Avengers Comics, Vertigo, the Viva Vendetta, you know, comics, that kind of comic. Look at that. It's great. I look like I'm, you know, cracking wires to the Flash. I love it. Thank you, Doodle Doodle. Thank you. Queen Stodge says, did you watch What It Feels Like for a Girl? I still have not watched it, but I did have dinner with Paris last night, so that's how I make up for it. Is I bought Paris some cookies last night. We went out for Chinese food. So yeah. A Philosophy Tube comic would go so hard, says friend EXE. Someone just punched the air. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I might have to do that, yeah. Watch this space. Watch this space. Because someone wants to write a comic with me, and someone else wants me to write it. And yeah, I think, okay. Yeah, we gotta do it then. Heck yeah. Good old Detective Comics. Yeah. Cool. Well, what time is it? It's 10 to 9. Why don't we... Thank you to that person who's just texted me that. Why don't we hang out for another 10-15 minutes before we head off? I gotta take my makeup off and park and relax, and then I think I'm gonna do that because I'm a sleepy kitty. I'm a very sleepy kitty. Fakana Mantiga says, I wanted to ask if you thought about doing a video on internet censorship since the UK seems to have gone crazy with an Online Safety Act. Yeah, I thought about it. I made a couple notes towards it. Maybe some other topics have taken my interest much more strongly, and I feel like other people have already said what needs to be said. But I won't say no. I won't say no to it, you know? Yeah.
That's weird. I'm not sure what this is.
Toby Steves, I'm afraid I don't know who that is, and I never watch I don't tend to watch YouTube videos much at all, to be honest. In particular, I never watch reply videos. I have not for years. It's been a long-standing rule for years, I'm afraid. I simply don't do it. Panos Katrin says, do you have an ideology that you identify with politically other than leftist? Not publicly, no. That's very deliberate. Do you have anything on in the background whilst you're writing music or ambient videos, or do you just lock in? Says Gerby. I just lock in. I can't take notes with music and stuff going on in the background. I just head down and do it. You know. If you could anthropomorphize an emotion or a feeling, which one would you date? Wow, like an inside-out situation, like anthropomorphize an emotion or a feeling. Who would I date? Well, the obvious answer is like lust, right? I feel like dating the concept of excitement would be, this is like a Chuck Tingle novel. The concept of excitement would be kind of interesting, but then like probably get annoying after a while, right? Because plenty of things are exciting, but they're not fun. Date a concept. What an interesting idea. Love is too, like, it's a cheap answer. It's a cheat answer, isn't it, really? Oh, chat says I should play Zatanna in the DC universe. Yeah, that's one that's on my list too, actually. I maintain a little list in my head of like, okay, what good roles might there be for me? Like, Zatanna would be fun. I guess, who else would I date if I could date a concept, an emotional concept? Tough one. I guess like cuddly isn't really I'm very like physical affection means a lot to me, and I'm lucky that I'm dating people who get that. I'm like very, very, very cuddly and very physically affectionate. I couldn't date someone who was like, don't touch me. Well, I have done. It just wasn't pleasant. Oh, Irish Mickey says I think I'd date curiosity. Oh yeah, fun. That's a good pick. I would like polycule with curiosity and ambition. That's the way to do it. What anime, TV shows, and movies have you seen recently? Says Queen's Charge. I went to see Superman in the cinemas. Loved it. Came out of that so excited. Immediately texted my manager a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. Love Superman. I'm also watching an anime called Birdie the Mighty, which is like, it's okay. I might watch an episode of that before I go to bed. It's fine. It's like good just before bedtime anime watching. It's fun. What else did I watch? I recently watched the Flash movie, the Ezra Miller one. I watched that the other night. Man, I had a very fun time watching it because of the company. But what a movie! What a movie! And then I introduced my partner to Dragon Ball Z for the first time, which is very funny too. So yeah. Something greater emotional polycule. Yeah. Have you seen Arcane? What did you think? I have not, but I imagine somebody would be wanting to show me before long, because I'm pretty sure that's like something that a friend of mine, someone I know would be interested in. So, pretty sure I have dated the concept of depression, says Valerie the Lovely Italian. Yeah, same. Yeah. Trigun is the best anime. Okay, all right. Yeah, somebody. Oh yeah, I think I know someone who's big into Arcane. He tried to show me some of it, and I was a bit mystified by it. But because I've never played League of Legends, so a lot of it's just like it kind of goes over my head. But I hear that the show is amazing, and I've seen clips of it, and it looks really good. So yeah. I'm sure there's a queer polycule somewhere with people who've chosen emotions as their name. Yeah, probably. That'd be pretty cool, right? Heck yeah. Never play League of Legends, says Randy XE. Done. Okay, cool. I won't. Seems like a big time sink. I kind of don't really have time. I'll tell you what else I've been watching. I've been watching Justice League Unlimited, because I never watched any of the Justice League cartoons as a kid. So I was like, go on, that's good bedtime. Just kind of like non-demanding, switch your brain off bedtime cartoons. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Isabel Ryan says, would you ever go or have you ever been to Ireland? Yeah, I've been to Ireland a bunch. I really like it. I went to Trinity College Dublin. Was that earlier this year or last year to collect the Medal of Patronage from their Philosophy Society. So yeah, love Ireland. Really good place, really nice. What does my T-shirt say? Says Vildora. It says tight pussy. It's a reference to Katie Tight Pussy, the poster. It's the official Katie Tight Pussy merch. KatieTightPussy.com. She should pay me for saying that. Like, she should pay me a lot of money for saying that. Justice League Unlimited is great. Justice League Unlimited is quality. Okay, cool. Sammy N says, have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? No, but Morgana says it's sick. That sounds really cool. I should check that out. Putting 2 and 2 together and assuming Abby's filming something for DC, says Anyfist. I wish. That'd be sick. Maybe someday. That'd be cool. You never know. But no. Has anyone done a Dutch translation of The Prince? Ah, man. Translating it to another language would be really difficult, but possible. I probably don't have the money to afford to pay you to do that. But, Panos Katrin, I don't quite understand what your question means. My actor carrier. I don't know what that means. I mainly just walk or get in a car. You know, they don't put me in a little case. That'd be fun though if they had a little travel case for actors. Billy Goat Buff says, I respond to criticism on these live streams. That's what these are for. Constructive criticism only. I've had a rule for years. I mean, I have a whole like system of rules about what criticism I answer and what I don't. I don't answer criticism from people who clearly haven't seen my work. I never watch reply videos ever. And have not done since like year 2 of being on YouTube, just because it overwhelmingly is not a good use of my time and the incentives are not aligned to produce constructive criticism. I don't answer any criticism that's abusive. So yeah, pretty much like constructive criticism only, bangers only, you know. I also never ever for any reason ever get involved in YouTube drama ever. So if it's even the slightest hint of drama, even the slightest hint of becoming drama, then I'm like, nope, I'm out. Doesn't happen. So yeah, you know, that's kind of my rules of thumb. I think I've got some others. I have a list somewhere. But yeah, constructive criticism only, and that's what these live streams are all about. Yeah. Oh, career. I'm sorry. That was I should have not carrier. Career. I'm sorry. That's my. Panos Katrin says, do you feel like your acting career has limited your expression on YouTube? In a literal sense, I guess it has, because like I'm under NDA for some stuff. There's some stuff I like can't talk about, and also NDAs would include things like non-disparagement clauses. So I guess theoretically, there's stuff that I like can't say. Well, in some, yeah, maybe a little bit, like a little bit, a little, yeah, and I guess like. Honestly, more often I've found it the other way around. So like, I've lost. I don't talk about this too much, but like I've lost a little bit of work this year, especially when regards to like public speaking gigs in the UK. In particular, because like stuff I've like having spoken out about Palestine, and you don't get invited to do speaking gigs if you've said that kind of thing. So you know, and like I don't talk about that because that doesn't matter. You know, it's not about me. It's not about like the impact it has on my life. It's about doing the right thing and like, you know, donating the money and bloody well getting on with the work. So I don't talk about that stuff, but like it's more the other way around actually. Yeah, more the other way around at the moment, I'd say, because like it's NDAs would include like standard non-disparagement clauses, and most of that would be like forbid me from saying stuff I wouldn't say anyway. So like, because I don't get involved in drama, I'm not kind of like messy in that regard. I don't start fights. I don't. If somebody gives me shit on the internet, I don't reply anyway. So like, most of the time, 99% of the time, an NDA isn't going to prevent me from saying anything I was going to say. So in that sense, not really. It's definitely more the other way around. So yeah. 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 What's one of your favorite good things that is happening right now? Says Sea Skull. I'm really enjoying the stuff that I'm filming. Really enjoying it. I'm having the most fun I've ever had filming this thing that we're shooting right now. And my personal life is really good. So career's going well, personal life's going well. Something kind of amazing happened that I didn't expect to happen. And I'm kind of scared by it, but also it's nice, I feel. Brum brum! Someone's driving past very loudly. Yeah, personal life is going really well. I started a new relationship that's making me really happy, which I did not expect to happen. But just kind of surprised me. So that's something that's happening that's making me really happy. Yeah. Okay, why don't we take it to the last 5 minutes? Yeah. We'll take it to the last 5 minutes, and then I will go and pack up. I might have a shower before. Bed. Oh, that'd be nice. You ever have a shower like a pre-bedtime shower? It's real nice. Gets me nice and relaxed, Oh, a pre-bedtime shower. Maybe a little bit of anime before bed. Primo. Ooh, it might even have some decaf tea. Oh, rock and roll on a Friday night. Anime and a cup of tea. But in bed by 10:30. Yeah, baby. Thoughts on the show Wednesday, if you've watched it, says Isabel Wright. I haven't seen it. I think somebody told me it was good. I should watch that. I should check that out. Stretching before sleep. Oh, great suggestion, Arish Mickey. Good shout. I was doing that when we were filming and it was really good, and I should do that again now. Yeah. Anime in the shower? That sounds like a bad idea. I'm just gonna break my laptop, and it's already it's already pretty on its last legs. Gonna need to get a new laptop soon if I can afford it. Being in bed before 10:30 is so luxurious, says March G. That's an everyday luxury for me. I'm early to bed, early to rise. I was up at 4 this morning. I had something like anxiety dream. I was like, I woke up at 4. And I forget what I was dreaming about. But yeah, I was anxious at 4 a.m. I was like, just got up, so yeah. Went to the gym. Today was bicep day. If Power Rangers was still a thing, which one would you have auditioned for? I've never seen Power Rangers. I was never into it. I think Power Rangers was just slightly before my time. Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was just slightly before my time. And then I was around just in time for Toonami to come and then show me anime as a child. And I was like, well, I clearly will become transsexual. So yeah, I see. Yeah. Power Rangers, TMNT, never really been my thing. You want to talk to my older brother about that one? There's a 4 in the morning now, says Lady. Yeah, they keep making them. There's when if you walk out on the streets at 4 a.m, you get to see all the other psychos who are awake at 4 a.m. and you also get to meet the people who like haven't gone to bed yet. And so it's a really like odd vibe because you're with all the people who are just like too functional, who are just like psychos, or people who can't sleep sometimes. You get to see all the kind of psychos, the early morning psychos, and then also you get to see all the people who are like late night party animals, and it's a really weird vibe. So if you're ever awake really early in the morning and it's safe to do so, then you know, take a little walk outside and you'll meet some interesting creatures. Yeah. Gobi says love being out at that time. All the people with night jobs, says Amy Fist. Yeah, true. There's a music studio that's just open like below my flat that kind of stays out really late. Although to be fair, they've been really good lately about if I go and like wave at them and say, hey, can you keep it down? They've been really good about that lately. So you know, they're kind of we're getting to know each other as neighbors. We're getting better. Like, Abby going on side quests, says friend EXE. I have the same side quest every day, and that is go to the gym. That's my side quest, 6 days a week. Okie dokie. Well, hey, I tell you what, this has been a nice stream. Thanks everybody. Thank you. Thanks for coming and hanging out. It's been really nice. I will see you on the next Postmortem live stream, unless I live stream at some point between now and then, which I'm not planning to, but who knows, maybe I'll suddenly get the itch. Do you like my nails, by the way? Heck yeah. I just got them done the other day and I'm like, loving them. Woo! How long do you usually spend at the gym, says Armand Gooks? Usually like 90 minutes to 2 hours. You know, an hour to 2 hours. Depends on what day it is and how fast I get through it and what kind of routine I'm going through. Yeah. How do you gym 6 days a week without injuring yourself? You gotta build up to it. Start with 2 or 3 and then you build up and build up and build up. And also you do different muscle groups. You don't do the same thing every day. That's crazy. I beat my personal best on bench press yesterday. My post-transition personal best. I bench pressed my body weight. Finally. Yes. My goal is body weight times 1.5. But yesterday I managed to bench press my body weight. I was like, yes. Super strong. Wonder Woman! Queen of the Amazons! Fucking Princess of Themyscira! Of course, these days I'd have to call it they Themyscira because of woke. Terrible. But yeah. Kajunk. I bench pressed my own body weight. Really happy about that. My absolute all-time max on bench press was pre-transition when I was a lot stronger because I had testosterone. I think my all-time max, my 1 rep max was 105 kilos, and I'm obviously like quite a way off that now. Which was like, yeah. 105 kilos I think was my all-time highest. But you know, I can bench press my body weight now, and now, or like once for 1 rep, and I'm like, okay, let's build up and build up and build up, and let's go. Yeah. I'm really happy about that. I like being strong. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I like my action star body. It's good fun. It's really good. Anyway, thanks so much, everybody. This has been Gym Update. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.